In this episode of The Veteran Hunters, we will be joined by Ryan and Kelly, two of the owners of Cochrane Toyota and one of our sponsors.
Yeah, and then last night they quietly got around us and they went straight south. And that was a concern I had, was that they have not eaten any of the oats yet in the south. I mean, maybe in small numbers, maybe like solitary bulls down there. But now that the herd has discovered that, oh, we have this entire oat field down here, all to ourselves, and the lead cow will just keep taking them there until they get some pressure.
Why don't you just go up to the top of that bridge, have a look. For tonight, we need to sit in a spot where we can watch both avenues of approach. If you want, we can try driving up to the big rock, glass from there. You can see the whole area. I haven't been up there yet, so I don't know what it's like going up there. So you got this installed and it just holds all your rifles and then all your gear?
Yeah, so it has the rack that I took out for today, but it locks in and then you can lock your rifle. Lock this and slides in, and it locks up, and then the tailgate locks up.
And then you can just throw your animals still on the top.
Exactly, and then it can store, comes with different dividers and different storage things. Keep things clean. And then these hold up to 200 pounds.
So we were in a good position this morning. However, the elk didn't read the playbook yet again, and but they did what I kind of suspected they might have done. When we got into shooting light and we weren't seeing them or hearing them, I was suspecting that they pushed further west to go north, or they may continue more west. And so we pushed out from where we were shooting to another spot of high ground, and of course we literally almost walked right into a cow elk, which is she's one of the stragglers from the herd. And she just went west around another feature on another piece of property, and I would say that they just kept pushing north. So now we got to figure out the game plan for tonight, because we have to watch a lot of ground and be able to quickly adjust to get into a shooting position. We decided to head up to the highest point of the property in Glass in hopes of locating the herd. The Veteran Hunters, sponsored by Vortex Canada, Bass Pro Shops Cabela's Outdoor Farm. We would like to thank Cochrane Toyota for supporting this episode of The Veteran Hunters.
We can watch any of those trees that are in the distance and just see if they emerge. It's like sometimes you might see a spiker come out, or you might see a cow. It might give us an indication which direction they're going to go.
So we've been set up here in Dawson with our Vortex binos, and actually this has been awesome having the tripods here and putting them on here. So we've been watching the bedding areas, looking for any sign of movement, any indication as to which possible direction that they might come, so then we can move to get a good shot in. It's getting colder. We've got about a half hour left of shooting light, maybe a little bit more. So hopefully the elk start moving soon. Unfortunately, we ended the day without harvesting an elk, so we headed home and prepared to get out the next morning. John, the local rancher whose land upon which we hunt, enjoys meeting with each one of our participants. Today, another veteran, Chris, joins us at John's.
Morning.
Morning, how's it going?
Not too bad.
This is turning out to be promising.
Yes.
Good seeing you again.
Good seeing you.
Just on behalf of the veteran hunters and all the guys who've been able to participate, thank you so much for your generosity and support over the last number of years, and thanks for John for having us into your home. A great breakfast, so thank you so much. Without your support and giving us areas that we can come and hunt and bring guys, doesn't matter how much money as an organization we raise, if we don't have opportunities to bring guys to hunt. So thank you so much, sincerely, on behalf of the organization, for all your generosity and kindness. So
where we get the enjoyment as a family, that we get to see veterans come out here, and whether they harvest something or not, to see the joy and the look on their face when they're done, that they're out in that countryside, wandering around, enjoying the pristine environment, the quietness, but yet still get that opportunity to pursue and hunt and stuff like that. So that's pure enjoyment from our point. It's a resource that we have, and it was one that we quickly found out that we could share. And when we get to share that with people who don't get that opportunity, it's really cool on our behalf. So it's one of those win-wins for everybody.
If I say one thing, I'm going to be lying, because it's not just one thing. It's like, it's the entire experience. One, it's getting away from work, getting away from all that, but it's getting around like-minded individuals, getting out into the bush, actually sitting there and just relaxing. It's what, for personally, it being out in the bush, whether I'm hunting or just out for a hike, it's one of the few spots where I can sit there and just be like, oh, okay, I'm calm, I'm relaxed. But being able to sit there in this situation, well, like 2 years ago when I got my cow, being able to sit there and feed my family for like a year and a bit off that one animal, it's like, there's nothing better than that, because it's just like, especially that one there, like all bow season, you and I were grinding that entire freaking time. And then when we finally put one on the ground, it was just like.
To hear and see and listen to you guys go out and talk about your experiences out in that countryside, and how you utilize the lands and the winds and the grasses and the types of years of the seasons and such, it just is something that I've taken for granted. These are all natural instincts that I have when I go out there.
Yeah.
But then when I hear you guys who aren't exposed to it every day, all of a sudden them instincts are triggering.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I wanted out of this, is to get people who aren't everyday livers in this environment to come out and feel that you're right, you can't describe it.
Yeah.
It's that feeling, it's that emotion, it's the highs and the lows of the lows, and it's the environment, and it's the countryside that gives you them pleasures and also gives you grief.
Oh yes. Oh
and,
yes.
Yeah. Those are the things that make it enjoyable.
For me, anytime I can support someone who, is helping support our, freedoms and fighting on behalf of that, I love to do it, and I jump on board. So when I could kind of take, investing into an organization that I believed in, was passionate and believed was doing a good job of something, and then also mirror that with something that I wanted to get into myself, I thought it was just a great collaboration of two things that I'd like to. And we were at an event supporting another cause as well, and got encouraged to bid on something, and I'm glad I did. And I think it's a great opportunity for me, and obviously get to know you guys and what you do even in more level and more in depth has been great.
We cherish independence. We cherish being able to make our own decisions and our freedoms. And when we get an opportunity to combine with somebody who actually physically fought for those freedoms that we absolutely value to our core, to every member of our family, that it would be a disservice to you guys, to our country, and to our family if we didn't step up and make that effort to not only support current military members, but recognize the men and women who went before, generations prior to, that give us that every day when I walk out the door. I get to make my own mind up what I want to do that day, how I want to do it, and whom I want to do it with. So it's a small gesture on our part to do that. So that's hopefully our gift to you guys for what you've done, yeah, for sure.
So I think what we'll do this morning is, I think we'll just drive a bit and kind of stop and see if we can hear like the herd moving. They'll make some noise, cow chirping or something, if there's enough of them. And I think we're gonna end up parking up pretty much where we did last night, because then we can watch that west corner, see if they're funneling through there. If not, they're coming basically straight up through us. The winds this morning are good. They're coming out of the southwest. So basically they're coming right out of that back corner where they went out yesterday morning. So I got my coffee. I'm good to go now. Let's go. There you go. On his property, yeah. Yep. Beauty. Yeah, so we just saw 5 cow elk here on the property, and they were looking west, and eventually they jumped the fence and headed west. And I just got a photo sent to me, and now I know why they were looking west. So my son's hunting with one of his classmates just on the property to the west of here, and there's probably 600 to 1,000 elk grazing right now in a field on an adjacent property. So that's why the elk basically went west. So we're gonna head up to the highest point on this property and get a glass down and have a look. So we just been glassing on John's property here over into where we saw about 600 to 1,000 elk, and it turns out my son and his buddy, they just shot a 6x6 elk, and we've been watching them from above here, heading out to pick it up. So he'll be sending me some photos shortly, and then they'll start dressing it out. So lots of excitement this morning for our family, and now we're seeing lots of movement of the elk here in and around this property. So
The Veteran Hunters, sponsored by Vortex Canada, Bass Pro Shops Cabela's Outdoor Farm.
we would like to thank Cochrane Toyota for supporting this episode of The Veteran Hunters. sooner we can see them coming out of the edge of the bedding area and get an idea where they might go,
The sooner we can shoot them.
the sooner we can shoot them. So.
Sounds good to me.
So we just spent like the last half hour glassing at the Big Rock, locating some of the elk that we saw this morning from the larger herd that's off the property. So we know that herd is still stationary there. What we still don't know about is that part of that herd that got separated that we saw this morning. And so we've set up now in another position where if we see them coming back this way to the east, that we can actually be more mobile and be able to react to them. So now it's just basically sitting here glassing with our Vortex binos and seeing if we can see the elk before they move and get a good idea as to where they're headed. On the final evening of the hunt, we spot a small herd with a potentially legal bull. Ryan and I put a stalk on in hopes of getting a shot before our legal shooting light runs out. We spot the bull in the herd, and our cameraman confirms it is a legal bull. We make one last attempt at getting within shooting distance. Yeah, and when I tried bugling, the other spiker came over, but he just kept eating. He didn't care. Like I said, they'll sit there until we leave, and they'll come right back here. And they'll hang out here all night, and they'll head back up the hill just before first light. Man, we were so close. We were so close. We got to within 274 meters. About what you were saying, about 274 to the herd. Small herd came in, yeah, I couldn't see that he was a 3. Turned out, I guess, looking at the footage, he is a 3, and but he was skylining, and that's one of the disadvantages, but also it's smart hunting when you're hunting on private land, right? So play the safe opportunity. The good part is cows didn't smell us, they didn't bark at us. We did some bugling, got their attention. That 3-point didn't even stop eating when we were bugling him.
No, I think it's great just being out here. You know, we got very close to having one today. 274 meters, it was in the range, so we could have got it, but with the way it was situated, and on private land is the best not to shoot that one, but
Yeah.
we'll leave them for another day. And
no, thanks. It's been good. I hope you've had fun the last couple of days, and been trying to. We've hunted this property a lot. Saw a lot of things going on today. As soon as rifle season starts, we're seeing stuff happen over there, and then with Michael being over there, and then provided some information and intel on what those herds were doing, and then setting up early tonight and glassing, and then was key. I think picking that piece of high ground or middle ground.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was good learning. And Michael, thanks for coming out and helping us the last day. We got so close with having you there, so appreciate it, Todd. It's been a great 2 days.
Sometimes hunts end without a harvest, but it is the camaraderie and experiences that really count at the end of the day. We would like to thank Ryan and Kelly for coming out with us and experiencing the beauty of Alberta's wildlife and its landscapes.